Folks, welcome back to a special Friday live stream. I did not plan on having a live stream today, but it seems the bombshell has officially dropped. Everyone is starting to release the information, and so I figured I would make a live stream and first tell you what's going on. The one thing I do want to mention is I have tried to tell people this was coming. I believe I was the first one on all of YouTube to start telling people this feels very familiar to COVID era times, to 2021, where literally you could not find product. This is the reason a lot of people went to Japanese in the first place, is they could not find English product, especially at a good price. And, it was very, very lucrative having a distributor, because you could buy these products at distributor costs and actually make huge amounts of margins. And we went back into the later Sword and Shield, into Scarlet Violet, to those times where it didn't even make sense to have a distributor. You could just find the boxes on the market for as much or less than distros charged. And so people started to get this mindset that, oh, I can get boxes cheaper than a distributor. I don't need to have a store. I don't need to buy a release. I can wait. And that became kind of the meta in investing. And so when I started to tell people, you need to be worried. You need to be worried about surging Spark. I started to make videos telling people this, which was obviously a lot of criticism came out about me, and people started making videos saying that I was causing FOMO. I was trying to manipulate the market, all those things. And meanwhile, I was just trying to give you guys the inside scoop with the information that I already had. I knew this was going to happen. I tried to tell all you idiots, and no one wanted to listen. They just said, Alex is crazy. He's just trying to spread FOMO. He has a lot of money in Pokemon, so he's trying to pump it. No, it's never been what it is. I knew very early on. First of all, we saw how the Paldea restock worked. Didn't do a thing to the price. Still at like $130, $140 a box. We've seen 151 go absolutely nuts. It gets product dumped on the market all the time from all over the place. It doesn't it's still rising. We're seeing how the slab market's doing now. We're seeing Twilight Masquerade hit 165 to 170 a booster box only 90 days after release. And Twilight Masquerade was not even a hyped up set. We just came off Shrouded Fable and Stellar Crown, which weren't that great of sets, but Stellar Crown's still holding up well. And everyone began to get hyped over this new set. And it was the most hype we've seen in Scarlet Violet era. And so even if we didn't get short printed, which we did, anyone saying that we didn't, they're lying to you. They are lying out of their ass. Do not believe them. We absolutely got short printed. I have the numbers. And everyone was just like in disbelief this was going to happen. It was just this big fairy tale. Like, oh no, that could never happen again, Alex. There's no Logan Paul this time. We're not getting free checks from the government out of stimulus. Alex, we're not all stuck in the house anymore. It's not COVID. People can go outside now. They can breathe without a mask. There's nothing that's going to ever do that again. Here we are. People are losing their jobs at corporate America right now with layoffs. The economy's not in a good spot, right? We have no celebrities pumping this. We have no COVID. We've got nothing. And you're seeing the same thing happen. And so to any of the naysayers out there that still disagree with Pokemon investing or don't think, your opinions are now null and void for eternity. I don't give a crap what anyone says from this day forward. You've just seen Scarlet and Violet do the same thing Sword and Shield base did 3 years ago with nothing. And surging Sparks is going to be the catalyst for COVID era times. I've already got a picture sent to me on Instagram from one of my followers of someone stacking their Walmart carts completely full. They actually have 2 carts full. They're absolutely packing up Pokemon items again. The fear's setting in. And I'm sure none of the people who made all those videos trashing me, they'll never come out with a retraction saying we were wrong, we apologize to Alex. They'll for certain never give me any credit. I've never gotten credit for anything as hobby. It doesn't matter how many things I consistently get right again and again and again and again. No one will ever give me credit. It's all, you got lucky. Oh, you're just manipulating the market, FOMO, all this stuff. Eventually, modern will crash. Eventually. Been hearing that for 10 years. And this is where we are, guys. So let me tell you a little bit about where we are. Eli, Pokemart USA, has a distribution program. He's one of the largest accounts in the what is that? Southwest, okay? Southwest region for his suppliers, okay? So he's one of Southern Hobby's biggest accounts out there. For Stellar Crown, these are real numbers, people. This isn't some made up internet BS. I have the real numbers. He was offered 3,600 boxes of Stellar Crown. Now, his program didn't order that many, so he actually didn't even need to use his full allocation. Surging Sparks comes around, and there is more demand than ever, okay? Most hype set. Everyone is putting in massive pre-orders. It gets over 4,000 boxes pre-ordered in his program. Now, Eli wasn't that worried because, surely he got 3,600 for Stellar. It's probably going to be similar. And maybe some people get cut a little bit, but no big deal. He got cut to 2,000 boxes. 2,000 boxes when Stellar Crown was 3,600. This set is massively underprinted. So now you have the strongest bull market we've seen in 4 years. You've got Twilight Masquerade going to 170 a box. You've got 151 at $100 in ETB, 200 to UPC. I'll show you that in a second, okay? You've got the most hype set in the entire era, and you short print it, and people don't think there is going to be absolute pandemonium out there? Are you out of your freaking mind? And by the way, I saw Collector App. Thank you so much for donating the memberships. Really make sure you guys thank Collector App if you do get a membership gifted. Really appreciate you guys. Make sure to check out their app. It's a great way to keep track of your collection and your investment, and it tracks everything in their app for you. So make sure to check out their app, guys. It's Collector with an R, not ERR. Appreciate you as always, guys. Yeah, and so now it's finally here, okay? And now people are finally losing their minds, okay? Now it's justified, right? But everyone will forget everything I've been telling you guys for like a month now. They just forget that. They don't apologize for all the hate. They're just going to move on, talk the news, and, forget they said anything terrible about me. That's okay. It's okay. And so, let's go ahead and share the screen. I'll let you know where we're at. This is where we're at, guys. There's only 2 sellers left on eBay that are still offering pre-orders. You have P Football Pete, and you have another TCI Collectibles or something here. These are the only people on all of eBay that are still offering pre-orders in the US. These are Italy. These are, all Italy, right? That's it. And that's Canada. There's only 2 US sellers of cases, okay? And the lowest US seller of booster boxes is 110 plus shipping or 119, 120, okay? Now, TCG Player, the cases are a little less, but the boxes are a little more. Do I think these are going to come down after release? Not a chance in hell. Not a chance in hell. So, like I said, everyone in Eli's program got cut. I put in for 25 cases. I am 18th in total overall spending power. He runs his program like a distributor does. If you spend more, you get more. I'm 18th in his program out of 126 people. I got cut from 25 cases down to 10. There's other people in the program that got cut from 5 cases down to 0, or cut from, 10 cases down to 1 or 2. And not only that, I knew this information far ahead of time. Not his numbers, but I knew this set was going to be a problem. So I put in orders with a friend of mine, Pokey Plumber. You guys know him. I started having him put feelers out there for me, and I had other orders put out there for 8 cases here, 4 cases here, whatever it may be. So I had backup plans already in place, okay, to make sure I could make up for anything I wasn't going to get from Eli. The same day I got the word from Eli that I was getting cut to 10 cases, I got the word from Pokey Plumber that we weren't getting our cases either. The people that he had deals with backed out, lowered his orders, and he was worried about having enough just for himself, and so he couldn't fulfill any of my orders. And same goes for a couple other people that I had, some smaller deals with, 4 cases here and there. They can't fulfill my orders either. Everybody is getting cut across the board. And when there's this little supply and this much demand, why in the world would you think for a second these are going to be cheaper the further it gets to release? They're going to continue to sell faster and faster. When release comes, they're going to start getting opened in mass by all the streamers like myself, and the supply is going to dwindle even lower than it is. Guys, I'm going to say it right now. Mark my words. If we don't see a reprint in 3 to 6 months, If we get through, I would say March of next year with no surging Sparks reprint, this will be a $200 booster box. I'm just going to tell you right now, this will be a $200 booster box. You will have cases going in the 4 figures. I'm just going to tell you right now. Now, maybe Pokemon does a second wave like they did with Scarlet Violet base. Maybe we get more. Maybe we get a fast reprint, and then, you know, it'll regulate the market and everything will be okay. But if we don't, this is going to get extremely ugly. And so normally I don't tell people to buy at release or pre-release. You usually have time. The market has shifted. You no longer have time. Could a reprint come and it gets smashed down back to $100 a box? Of course. Of course. So you have to weigh the risks and rewards for yourself. I want to talk about a couple other things real quick. 151. I ran 3 auctions, okay, or a few more auctions, but here's 3 of them. All of these sales are bought and paid for. This is not a manipulated market like you're being told all across the internet. It's not 2 people all, you know, buying and selling each other's things and all doing this mass buyout manipulation BS. First of all, hold on. Collector Apps did something else to me. Shout them out. Making us one of the FOMO now, LOL. Appreciate the super chat, man. Hey, again, I'm not wanting anyone to FOMO. I'm just trying to give you guys all the information that I have. You do with it what you will. So I went ahead and I ran auctions on 151 to see if they were real buyers. I got 60 bids. The Charizard went for 760, and yes, it was paid for. It is shipped out to eBay authentication. Paid for. Blastoise from 151, 325, paid for. Venusaur from 151, 310, paid for. I can confirm these are all real sales. The buyer did pay. These are all being shipped to eBay authentication, and everything is a smooth transaction. These are all very real prices, very real buyers. It is not some mass manipulation scheme. This is what happens when demand hits a hobby. This is how the momentum of a market can work. So any of the BS you hear out there, it's all just people being upset that either they don't own it or they're mad it's going up so fast, whatever it may be, and they explain it by saying buyouts and manipulation. It's not buyouts and manipulation, okay? 151 UPCs are now hitting $200 a box. They're selling for $200 a box. Many sales a day. Same thing goes for the ETB. PC ETB is now at $235 a box. Yes, it is selling there. 225 sales, 230 sales, 230 sales. That's what it costs. And the regular ETB is now $95 in ETB. And yes, it is selling there. We even have some sales up there at $100 in ETB. As I told you before, Twilight Masquerade is now $165 a box. And yes, we are seeing tons of sales at that price. The cases are going for $950. We do have some cases there for around $900, $920s, $974, $970. And so yes, these are all very real sales. Not to mention, if you didn't see my video today, if you didn't, go check it out. I'd show this. Primal Clash. There is literally 2 Primal Clash boxes left on all of eBay. One right here from Canada, one here from the US. It does see pictures. I'm sure there's something wrong with the box. Let's see, what does it say? See pictures for condition. No, it's actually in good shape. So $750 in a good shape box. There's none listed on TCG Player. It has sold out. You cannot buy a Primal Clash box. Guys, normally I would go to my local card shop, try to get some. They were sold out too of their pre-orders. And Collector Store has a pretty good allocation usually. Guys, this is where we're at. This is where we're at in the market. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. Pokey Plumber just texted me actually. I don't know what else to tell you guys at this point. No matter how much data I give you, no matter how many times I get things right and I provide real numbers and real data, and I've been in this market for 9 years now, and it's very easy to predict when you've seen the same patterns again and again. No matter how much of that I put out, I'm still going to be met with all kinds of pushback, a bunch of haters, a bunch of people saying I'm causing FOMO, I'm manipulating the market, all this stuff. When in reality, this is just how things work in collectibles, guys. It's how they work. It's how they've always worked. It's how they're always gonna work. They don't move in this nice little neat linear line up, right? They move like this. That's how collectibles move. Whenever they get mass amounts of demand and limited amounts of supply at the same time, you are going to see massive price movements. And there's nothing wrong with that. That's a normal ebbs and flow of a collectibles market. Collector's app. Appreciate your thoughts on this. Fun fact, 151 activity on Collector is the highest it's ever been. The big 3 get looked at over 375,000 times a day. for a week straight. Guys, thank you so much for that, collector. Take that into consideration. If something is getting looked at 375,000 times a day, if these cards are selling, 20, 30, 40, 50 a day, these products are selling at 50, 100 a day, this is not one or two people manipulating the market and buying it out. This is the masses all moving into the market all at once because they're finally realizing this stuff isn't endless. It's not going to be around forever. I'm not going to be able to get these price points forever. People are like, oh, reprints. Pal D Evolve just got a reprint restock. It barely touched it. It went down like 5, 10, 15%. It didn't go to $100, $90, $80. You guys are living in this fantasy land where you think Pokemon products are going to be dirt cheap again. It's not happening. And if this is causing FOMO, well then, I'm sorry, maybe the truth is FOMO. Maybe the truth in this market is now considered FOMO. I don't know, guys. I'll start taking questions from the chat. You know what? I'm gonna try. Hold on, let me text back PokePlumber real quick. Maybe we can get another perspective on this. Maybe we can get another perspective on this whole thing. Give me 1 second. All right. Let me scroll up to the top of the chat and see what everyone's saying. Oh, geez. First off, I see we have tons of messages from Norner. And Norner is obviously against what I'm saying, apparently. He says, surging Sparks is plenty available. Guys, this is a Norner. Look, love you, brother. This is a massive misinformation statement. It is not widely available. Literally, everyone I talk to cannot get me product. They can't get me product. They can't get other people product. All the stores are getting cut. All the people who had orders with stores are getting cut. I predict we're going to see sort of like the old days where people start canceling pre-orders and then they relist them at a higher price. We've seen that happen many, many times. And it could happen again. Look, I mean, hopefully a lot of the bigger stores do honor their pre-orders, but it's happened in the past. You know, if stores can cancel pre-orders that they pre-ordered at like, $575, $600 a case, and they can cancel and relist at like, $750, $800 a case. Sometimes they're going to do that if they need the money. So it's unfortunate, but it just kind of is how it happens. So, hey, look, you don't have to agree with me. You don't have to see things my way, but I'm giving you the real information, and you can take it for however you want to take it. That's all I really got to say about it. Yeah, I mean, this is exactly how it was in 2021, guys. This is exactly how it was in COVID, except there's no COVID, there's no money from the government, and there's no Logan Paul, and there's no other celebrities hyping it. This is organic demand this time, which is even more scary. It's way scarier than it was before. Let me scroll down again. We got another super chat coming in. Let me take it. We got it from four stacked frogs. I like it. Why do you think people are hating on this set so hard? I guess they're being contrarian because of hype the set it is. Yeah, that's what people do, man. People get very upset when things go up too fast. They explain it by buyouts, manipulation. Then they start to hate on the set and say it's overhyped. It's not that good. I don't even like the hits. And it's just their way of coping with it, right? It's just their way of coping with it. It's obviously one of the best sets in the entire era, pretty easily, and it's one of the most underprinted. When you put those two things together, it's a recipe for disaster when it comes to finding product affordable. By the way, guys, I still don't really have anywhere near the cases I was wanting, right? I was wanting to have between 25 to 30 cases. I don't even have 20. So I can't find cases. I mean, with all the contacts I have in this hobby, I mean, I've called around and no one's got cases available unless you want to pay $725. Alex, I got a case of Surging Spark. Would you recommend PC ETB case as well? Yeah, so I got PC ETB cases. I started, stocking up on PC ETB cases as soon as the booster boxes started doing this. I bought more than I normally do because it just seems like the right move right now. It seems like the right move. Cotton Family, love the content, Alex. Might have to get in on the Rip and Ship next week. You should. I appreciate that. I'm hoping stores prioritize people who pre-ordered early. I got 3 cases pre-ordered. I mean, look, they may. It's hard to tell. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. I would hope they do that as well. Do I recommend a Stellar Crown case or a Surging Spark at 716? It's hard to tell. I mean, anything could happen at this point. Maybe they do have a huge reprint, huge restock. That could always happen. But at this time, like I said, everyone is getting cut. This set is massively short printed, and it's got way too much hype, and it's not going to stay at these prices. Here's what I'm going to tell you guys. If there's no reprint or restock announced, it's probably going to be $150 a box in a month or two, and it's going to be $200 a box by next year. And that's if we get reprints or restocks, that could all change. But if we don't, in 3 to 6 months, it will be a $200 box. Mark my words. And you can all laugh at me if I'm wrong. Really don't think I'm going to be, though. I really don't think I'm going to be. Okay, we got... What else we got going on in here? Everyone's kind of talking about all the things they're seeing around the market. Hey, Pokey and in here. I love some capitalistic... Hold on, guys. Give me 1 second. I'm trying to get Pokey Plum around here. For some reason, the link's not working for him. Hopefully, Nick can get the link to work. I'm trying to bring him up on screen. He can kind of corroborate all of my stories I'm telling you, because we have had an absolute disastrous time trying to get cases, because he wants a certain amount of cases for himself. Here he is. Here he is. Bringing him on. Bro.
Right.
Bro, you're live.
There we go. There we go.
What's going on, man?
Dude, it's always a nightmare with these Macs, man.
Hey, you're here now. That's all that matters.
I'm here now.
So dude, I was in the middle of the story a little bit ago. I was telling them how I got the word early from Eli. This was going to be a rough set to get product with. So you can tell everyone I'm not lying here. I contacted you, and through our networks, we've tried to put feelers out, and we went and got more cases from a few different sources and had them ordered, and then got word yesterday or the day before that we were not getting our orders. And then so we've been on a mad dash contacting everyone we know, trying to get more, and it's been an absolute disaster. So give your take on it. So it's not just coming from me, it's coming from someone else, so I'm not causing FOMO.
All right. So let me preface this, right? I yell at Alex all the time, right? I'm like, dude, you're causing FOMO. I'm like, this isn't going to be that big of a deal. I said, I argue with this because I'm pretty close with Alex. So I kind of rip him apart a little bit for it. I'm like, dude, stop doing this. Stop hyping this setup even more. So now people are starting to get their numbers in. So there was a guy that was like, dude, I'll get you 30 cases, as many as you want, right? And I call him, and he's like, I can't do that. I'm dropping you down to 10 cases. So that's one. Listen, I called 8 people yesterday, right? I'm not even kidding. 8 different people. So then,
and these people are like, I mean, do you want to drop any names?
Not really. I don't know if they'll like.
I mean, someone like the bigger ones, no. All right. Well, put it this way, guys. These are people who have large stores, large allocations, large followings. Like, these people are
like huge streamers. Like,
put it this way, like if you wanted like Stellar Crown or like Twilight, you could have got 50 cases from them.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, but I didn't want Stellar Crown. I didn't even want it at 500 a case. I grabbed it because it was such a good deal. But with this set, like from my guaranteed people that I do like plumbing for, and they own 2 stores, they can get me some, but the minimum they want is $625. I never pay $625 for a case. I haven't at all. And it's just like the people that told me they can give me 30, they dropped it down to 10. the one guy a couple weeks ago was like, yeah, I can get you whatever. I was on the phone with him today and he's like, dude, he's like, my numbers dropped. He's like, I can't get you anything. He's like, he's like, keep looking. He's like, I'm not going to lie to you. Maybe next set, if we try to put more in, but now I'm seeing everyone's allocations are getting dropped. And when I say these are people that are like big names in the hobby, these are big names in the hobby. And now I'm like, holy crap. Like all I wanted was 15 cases, and that was for myself. I'm not a streamer. I'm not a breaker. I'm none of that stuff. I'm just a collector. And I'm just seeing kind of how like the hype is happening. Like it's weird because Alex said this to me like a week when we were at Chicago. He's like, this is reminding me of like 2021 COVID. And then yesterday.
Hold on. Way before Rudy's video.
Yeah. And then I watched Rudy's video last night. And he said the same thing. And I'm like, holy crap. Because I mean, that's my son in the background. I'm on dad duty right now. But like XY, all these XY boxes, I've been waiting for this for years. I said XY is underrated. And now I'm getting I'm getting like 4 or 5 messages a day asking, hey, can I buy your Phantom Forces boxes? Can I buy your Roaring, your Ancient? And the offers I'm getting are super fair. Someone offered me $2,500 for a Phantom Forces. Like that's insane. People offer me $800 for Roaring because they know it's a mint box and it's going to get to you safely. But they're offering really good offers, and I don't want to.
Oh, by the way, when he's talking, like Nick, most all of Nick's business is off eBay TCG Player. These are like friends and family or cash in person offers.
Yeah, cash in person. Like, let's do this.
Because those are like crazy prices when you're talking like that.
Yeah, they're fantastic, but it's. I still don't want to get rid of it because I've been saying Ancient's the 3rd best set in XY era. I think it's still undervalued. Phantom Forces, I think, is the best set in XY era. But look, Phantom in not even a month went from 18 to 24. Like Roaring Skies is 758. Primal you can't even find on TCG, right?
I remember when I was like negotiating a full XY collection, we were texting. I'm like, yeah, I think I'm gonna offer this, and you almost dropped the phone. You're like, why are you paying like full price? I'm like, dude, this isn't full price. This is like 80% now.
Yeah, I saw it at con where people didn't want to sell their Cosmic Eclipse for $1,000. Didn't want to sell it. They're like, I'll just hold it. They didn't want to sell their Unified at $850. So
yeah. So including myself, like everyone, including myself, make all kinds of deals on slabs, on singles, on like Scarlet Violet boxes. When it came to like XY Sun and Moon, it's like no. The price is the price, man. Price is the price.
And the thing is, people are still paying the price as the price. They didn't care because this stuff is becoming so scarce. And when you mix scarcity with a booming market like we're in right now, I mean, it kind of does take the fun out of it for me a little bit because it was so easy getting all these Scarlet and Violet products. This reminded me of like I got in during Sun and Moon, like this little lull that we were in. It was like Sun and Moon era. You can get whatever you want. You can get as much as you want, and you can get it for a fair price. But now it's like I can't even find cases for less than $625, right? I mean, for like the orders I already have, yeah, they're cheaper than that. But now it's like people are taking their pre-orders off right now. And if this set's going to do this, what's the Team Rocket set going to do? What's the Gym set going to do? What's the Evolution set going to do? It scares the crap out of me. This is like I don't know how to say it. It's kind of like a conundrum because everything is like contradicting itself. Like it's a great thing, but it can be bad for the hobby at the same time when it starts getting this crazy, right? Because then you're going to have all your scalpers coming back. And then it's like, I wouldn't be shocked if Searching Sparks starts hitting 175, 200 right out of the gate for a single box.
I have a follower that works at Walmart, and they just sent me a picture on Instagram today of someone loading up 2 full shopping carts of every Pokemon product.
Here we go.
He texted me. He goes, yeah, it's feeling like 2021 here too.
Yeah, and I kind of hated that era, but I was grandfathered in with like my shop around me. So when everyone was going crazy over celebrations, I was getting UPC cases. I was getting that stuff. But now it's for them to be raising their prices because they haven't been doing well until Twilight Masquerade. And now it's like, hey, now these shops can finally start making money again, right? So I see where everybody's coming from, and they're like, now we can finally start getting money. Scarlet and Violet's doing well again. My son's having a blast.
He's good, man. Yeah, it's just, I mean, dude, it's like, I I knew this was coming. I just didn't know it was going to be this bad because I was thinking we were at least going to get the same allocations we got for Stellar Crown. It was going to be a little low, but it was going to be fine. It was, but this is adding fuel to the fire with the most hype set with the least print run. Like, well, I don't know what Pokemon's thinking. The other thing I'm scared of, here's what I'm scared of, right? This is what happened when COVID ended and we had that big dip. Here's what I'm afraid of is Pokemon continues this with 151, Twilight, Surging, Team Rocket, and we have no supply and everything goes to the moon. And then like a year and a half from now, they just start dumping all reprints and just crashing everything. And then all the new people to the hobby just like leave the hobby and give up because they just got screwed.
It's the same thing though. The history repeats itself. I mean,
I know that's what I'm worried about. So it's like, if you guys get in on this, like it's always okay to take profits.
Yeah. I mean, you can take profits, but like just when things are down, buy it all. And now it's like I'm up. And I mean, I moved some stuff for like some bigger boxes, but
well, how many 151 Japanese cases did you have?
Oh my goodness, a lot. Like I don't know, 40.
And then you've been selling into the strength, right?
Yeah, I mean now my dollar cost average is super low into what I kept. Yeah. It just that means like I expected that jump in over. It takes like 2 years maybe. Like I think it's gonna go higher, but now like I'm into those boxes for like nothing, which is nice. Right. But
I missed that one.
Yeah, I told you.
Dude, you begged and pleaded with me. You're like, dude, just get 10 cases.
Dude, I did I not say this to you? I said, I will buy you these cases, right? And if they drop, I will pay you what you bought them for. Right? I literally said that to him. I was like, please just buy it. It's a great set. 151. And we're
that's so funny.
151 super. Look at that Charizard. But I am gonna say this. Like, I feel like this is when it's just too high. I pulled like 5 of those Zards, so it's a little high. I mean, it's a beautiful card. Don't get me wrong, but it's nice because people are coming back to the hobby and it's a chase. I mean, there's a lot of positives, but there's a lot of negatives too. But I guess like not really your advice, but like, what are you doing? Like, what are you going to be doing in this market? How are you going to change up are you just going to continue to navigate like all back to X, Y, Sun, and Moon? I mean, if it makes sense, if I can still get good deals, yeah, I'm going to keep buying it. Just like I said, I dollar cost everything. So if I bought a Roaring Skies box back in the day, I was a little late to it. So I paid like 110. So I would buy like 2 of every box. And then when they went up to like 250, I'd buy another one and then so on and so forth. So I'll still do that. And I'll keep dollar cost averaging everything. Nothing's going to change with me. I'm a collector, at the end of the day, and I love my stuff. I mean, yeah, it's nice to be able to move team up for what I am right now and get these bigger boxes and trade. And I'm into these bigger boxes for a third of what they're worth now.
You want to tell everyone what you picked up at Collecticon?
I picked up a good amount of cases of Paldea Evolved. I picked up cases of Stellar Crown.
Oh, come on, dude. The real stuff.
All right. And then I picked up a Cole Legends box, a Majestic Dawn box, and a Dragon's Exalted box. And then today I just grabbed a Legendary Treasures box. So
that's incredible.
Yeah, it's been a nice little
Legendary Treasures is the best black and white set.
Oh, absolutely. And then Dragon's Exalted. But listen, I'm doing this because I was buying everything when it was low, right? And I'm not saying don't buy Surging Spark. Like $625, if I just got in the hobby, $625 is not a horrible price for a case, right? It's just that I've been in this for a while, so I'm used to being able to get them for quite less.
Yeah.
Right? But I still think Surging Spark is going to be a great buy. This is the only thing I want to say. Vivid Voltage came out, and I remember I was grabbing those cases for low, and I was selling them for $1,200 a case. And they were flying, right? Because I was like, Pokemon tricked everyone to think that being a Sword and Shield was good, right? But we went from Cosmic Eclipse to Rebel Clash, Sword and Shield base. But
isn't that amazing how that worked? Like people really were balls out on Vivid, Rebel Clash, Sword and Shield base, Darkness Ablaze, and we just came off of sets like Team Up and Cosmic and Hidden Fates. It's mind blowing to think how they pulled the wool over everyone's eyes thinking Sword and Shield was good starting out.
But it showed how many new people were in this hobby, right? So this is what I'm going to go and say is with Surging Spark, if you can get it for a reasonable price. I mean, I know Pokemon wants to raise the MRSP.
MSRP?
Yeah, you know what I meant. But they want to raise that. but just try to don't pay more than that. Right. If you just want to get a box, I'm sure you can find it for less from other people. Go to this guy. I'm pretty sure he might not have any, so never mind.
First time back to collecting. I love 151 as a fan, but I can't even afford a decent box. Any advice for how to get into the game? I mean, you got to kind of, unfortunately, with 151, I would like check every day the GameStop websites, Walmart websites, even Amazon, Pokemon Center. A lot of drops are happening where you can find them at retail price or at least under market. Always check when you're at Walmart or Target. It's rough right now. This is, again, it feels like COVID. This is what we talked about during COVID.
But look, there's no Logan Paul, right? Everyone blamed Logan Paul, but I'm telling you, people love this hobby. It's a fun. Oh, all right. I was making sure he wasn't spinning up. Sorry. People love this hobby. It's an escape from reality, and the people in this hobby are awesome. You meet some awesome friends, but the market's beautiful, right? It's a little too strong right now.
It's kind of mind blowing, dude. Like, I'll scroll through TikTok and you'll watch like one of those videos where someone's talking about getting laid off or something. And then all of a sudden your entire feed is just people that have got laid off and talking about how bad the job market is. And I sent in 200 applications last month and got 0 callbacks. And you're just like, people are losing their jobs. They're not finding jobs. The people talk about how high groceries are. Everything's crap. But yet the Pokemon market's stronger than ever. And all we were ever told by all the bears in this hobby were, well, once Logan Paul and all the stimulus is gone and all this stuff's over, it's gonna crash. Once, there's a downturn in the economy, this is all gonna crash. Once this happens, once that happens. I feel like over the last, years, we've seen every possible scenario that all the bears in the hobby said was gonna happen, and it hasn't crashed the hobby. This means it's probably gonna be strong for pretty much ever, in my opinion.
I mean, it's gonna. I always thought there's always ebbs and flows, but what I'm saying, I've been saying this forever. Like every person plays a factor in this hobby, right? Whether it's the streamers, whether it's the people buying the packs, whether the scalpers, the collectors, the players. Everybody plays a part in this hobby, and if all 5 of those factors are strong, this hobby's unstoppable. It's kind of scary.
It is scary. It's kind of scary what's going on too with I mean, I know everyone thinks like it's all like investors, but no. The rip and ships wouldn't be as strong as they are. The mystery packs wouldn't sell out in days if the investors were running this. Investors aren't buying mystery packs and doing rip and ships.
Nope.
People that want to be entertained, that want to enjoy the hobby are doing these things. It's entertainment.
Yeah.
I mean, and that goes back to the XY Sun and Moon stuff, which we've talked about this, and you've talked with some people that you have some, I would say, insider info on, is, dude, the amount of these boxes that are getting ripped and putting mystery packs right now, it's unbelievable.
That's where all your XY is going right now. That's where the black and white's going, your Sun and Moon, like mystery packs. How do you think they get product for mystery packs? They rip boxes. And the thing is, like, even though Sword and Shield is stagnant right now, you're going to tell me Sword and Shield's not going to have its day? You're out of your mind, because I still see Sword and Shield getting ripped like no other.
Dude, Primal Clash and Roaring Skies were 10 times as dead as Chilling Reign and Fusion Strike were.
Yeah. Like
10 times as dead.
$9, yeah.
Got a late reprint. They were nowhere near as pumped up as Chilling and Fusion are. I mean, in my opinion, probably worse sets.
When I got back in this hobby was during Sun and Moon. There was Roaring and Primal at Walmart, right? Like it was still on the shelves. Like I would be able, there was even tins that still had like black and white boxes on the shelves. So it was like, there was so much Roaring Skies and Primal Clash. So that's why I'm not worried about Sword and Shield, because it's the same thing. But now when you go to a store, you only see Scarlet and Violet are on the shelves, right? Like back then you would go and you see 3 generations on the shelves. It's getting ripped. It's going to disappear. It's inevitable. It's always been like that.
I mean, I know I have a hard time finding product. I mean, me and you work together a lot. We do a lot of deals together. Like we try to but it's like, it's not easy to find product. Like right now, it's near impossible to find XY Sun and Moon product to break. Yeah. Anyone who has it wants top dollar. It's really hard to make a margin. Even the breakers that we know, even like the rip and shippers, right? Whether it be Whatnot, TikTok, even they aren't really wanting to break theirs, because the packs are so expensive now that they don't even sell well enough. They can just wholesale the box and flip it easier.
Yeah. I mean, the craziest thing is like one of my good buddies, he was selling a lot of mid-era, heart gold, soul silver, diamond and pearl, black and white. He can't get any of that anymore, right? Like he was selling cases of Dragons Exalted, all this stuff. This is like 2 years ago. And now he's buying, more XY, more Sun and Moon, but he's having a tougher time finding that stuff at a good price to sell than he was with the black and white back then. So like this stuff is becoming more and more scarce. It is crazy, but it starts, just start grabbing the new set. Everyone said Scarlet Violet was dead. It's very much alive. I mean, I think Surging Sparks a great set. It is stacked. This set is beautiful.
Yeah.
There's so many nice cards. I love this set. And I've been harsh on the past two. I love Scarlet. Alex and I had this conversation, like with 3 sets in the Scarlet and Violet, and maybe it was 4. And I said, this might turn out to be one of the best eras ever. Right.
It was, I don't know how long ago it was, but it was definitely back when everyone was still all hyped on Sword and Shield.
Yep.
And it was a very unpopular opinion that we had that was Scarlet Violet is better and it's more fun to open.
I was one of the few buying Scarlet and Violet. I'd post on my story like, am I an idiot for buying Scarlet and Violet, or should I be buying Sword and Shield? And like, I don't know, like 200 something people said you should be buying Sword and Shield. But I already did that. I already bought all that. So I was buying Scarlet and Violet when it was nice and cheap. But those illustration rares, it makes it so much fun to open a box. You're pulling 3 illustration rares, most of the time 2 SIRs. It's really fun to rip. Scarlet and Violet. And we still have, how many sets do we have after Surging? 4? 4 left?
4
left. Holy crap. Imagine what those people think.
I mean, can you imagine, like, if this continues, like, I mean, I said, we always joke about it, like, Lambo and Beach Home, but like, it's probably going to get to that point. It's probably going to get, I mean, could you imagine Evolving Skies ends up being a team up? I mean, how much Evolving Skies are you sitting on right now, bro? You got a stack.
A good amount. I mean, you and I talked about this too, but like,
put it this way, guys, whatever I have, Nick has at least like 6 to 10 times.
So think
at least, and that's not including all of his buildings that he owns.
I don't. So anyways, so with Evolving Skies, if you watch the trajectory of Evolving Skies, it is not too far off from Team Up. You and I talked about this a while ago. I remember like Team Up went to like 500, then it went to 700. And then I was like, no way, it's going to hit 1,000. Then it hit 1,000. So it went from that 7 to that 1,000. And Evolving, I mean, it is mirroring it. Even though Team Up was shorter printed, I think Evolving Skies is just such a strong set. I really do.
Someone keeps asking, what's the 3, 5, 10 year prediction on it?
I can't give you that, man. I hodl everything. I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, it's a nice little investment, but it's also a lot of fun. Excuse me for 1 second.
No, you're good. Yeah, guys, I mean, as far as like those questions go, if you're literally buying things, already thinking about like selling them, I think you should just focus more on running a business. Like, I think you should focus more on like, I don't know, trying to get into wholesale, maybe get Japanese suppliers and do that. It's a lot easier to flip Japanese sealed than English. You should probably get into grading cards, maybe get in the bulk side of things, maybe buy out collections and sell singles. Like, if your sole purpose is to buy this stuff and then like try to flip it in 3-5 years, there's easier things to do than try to invest in product. Investing is like long-term growth, like to grow your net worth. It's not about how much I can sell it for in 3, 5, or 10 years or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, if I was to sell, some of this XY after 4 or 5 years, if I didn't wait until what it is, look at it, it's double than what it was, right? So I mean, it's
dude, you can't really, where's it at? You can't even find this stupid box now.
I know.
Primal Clash, guys, you can't find it. You can't find it.
No, you can't.
It was a $70 box, man. Uh-oh, where'd he go? What's he getting now? Oh, he got it. The case.
You can't find these.
Hold on, what's that sticker on the side there?
My buddy Beamer, bro.
Collector's Cash, baby.
Collector's Cash, Beamer. Primal, solid set.
Dude, I'm pretty sure that you're responsible for like an actual like percentage of his entire sales this year. Like, I would love to see his books. I want to see like how much Pokey Plumber has bought from collector's cash.
I might be a part of the reason why XY is.
I mean, what do you got? You got what? You got Phantom Forces case?
Yeah.
What else did you pick up? Roaring Skies case?
Yeah. Breakpoint.
What other case did you pick up this year from them?
Oh my God.
Fates Collide.
Yeah, Face Collide. I mean,
it's amazing those cases are still out there.
Yeah. I mean, the cases are my favorite thing. Like, I love having my cases. They're just, I mean, ask your chat. What do they think about like older case premiums? Like,
here's what's funny though. Every time he buys a case, right? He's always like, I'm gonna let go of one or two of the loose boxes though. Now that I have a case, I'm like, okay, great, man. Let me know what you want for it. He'll get the case and he'll be like, I'll be like, yeah. So what do you want, man? He's just like, nah, I just can't let it go. And I'm just like, dude, I'll give you like a pretty much full market if you got a minty one. He's just like, yeah, even then, I'm just gonna keep it.
Yeah. I always say like every time I get like a case, I'm like, all right, I'll get rid of a couple boxes, you know, so then it makes sense. But then I don't get rid of it.
What do you guys think though, chat? What do you guys think about case premiums? Like, do you think it's justified, especially as you get older? Like, would you be more willing to pay for like XY, Sun and Moon, even getting to older Sword and Shield cases? Would you rather pay more for 6 sealed boxes in a case, or do you think it's a case premium is not justified? I mean, yeah, I think it's justified. I'll tell you what, I've bought out a good amount ever since I started streaming. I've went through a good amount of Sun and Moon XY boxes. It is difficult to find minty boxes with, you know, sharp corners, no rips or scuffs or nothing on the wrapping, no dents on the top of the box. Like, no, it's very hard to find those. And so to have a case where most of them are probably going to be all mint boxes, I think there's a value to that. Like, everyone keeps forgetting a lot of people that don't believe in sealed investing, they see everything as opening. Well, like, you know, open the product. What's the cost of the cards inside? What's your, you know, estimated return on that? Like, it doesn't matter what the box looks like. It's like the box itself is collectible. And if we know anything about collectors, you want your collectible in the mintiest shape possible. That's why PSA 10s cost more than PSA 9s. It's that simple.
I mean, the reason that like I prefer cases too is because sometimes, like, even like with the newer stuff like Sword and Shield, like sometimes there's only one alt art in a case, right? And if you're lucky. But sometimes people will be opening a case and they'll pull the alt art in like the second box and be like, all right, now I'm going to sell the 4 boxes, right? So that's why I like my cases, because I know if I open them, at least I have a chance. Like with Japanese 151, every case has at least one God pack. That's why I liked cases. So I just like cases because I know the big hit wasn't pulled, all that stuff. Even though XY is different, you can pull multiple secrets in a case, but it depends on the era. I like cases from a reputable source. Make sure it is a reputable source. Like all my
like Collector's Cash. I mean, he's had all those since they were released.
Yeah, all my cases are either from Collector's Cash or from like right off of the truck from distribution to my comic store. Like I watch it come off from distribution from Southern Hobbies or whatever the distributor is. I watch it come off the FedEx truck and I load it. So all my cases, that's how I buy cases. Oh, buddy, you want me to?
Someone's asking for Pokey Plumber's Instagram. It's literally Pokey Plumber. Hold on. I'll find it for you. I'll share it for you guys.
The Pokey Plumber.
Yeah, you're right. I'm going to share it in the chat for you. There is Pokey Plumber's Instagram. You'll see all kinds of treasures on there. But yeah, guys. So like, look, there's going to be a lot of YouTubers out there wanting to make content. You know, whether they're going to be on the bullish side or bearish side. It's very easy to like attack, you know, people on what they've said. So it's really easy for guys to like try to, you know, make a name for themselves, calling out nostalgianomics or calling out someone that's bullish. But all the information we're telling you is 100% accurate. I told you the real numbers that Eli got. He got cut from 36 cases or 36 boxes down to 2,000 boxes from Stellar Crown to Surging Spark. Everyone we've reached out to, we can't get product from. We've got cut on every single order. I've had multiple people from Eli's program that have got cut even worse than me, like 5 boxes down to 0, 10 boxes down to 1 or 2. And it's just, and here's the thing, guys. If you guys are in the program and like you're upset, look, everyone went through the same thing and Eli handled it with absolute integrity. The dude only kept 10 cases for himself. He literally kept as much as I got, less than some of the top buyers got for his own store. Like, he's got his own LGS to worry about. It's his account. Like, it's his product to divvy out. He barely kept any for himself because he wanted to make sure everyone got enough. And so it's just a simple fact. There's not enough out there. It's not like he kept a bunch for himself. It's not that these stores are all being greedy and hoarding it and trying to make more money. They just literally, they're worried. I've talked to store owners, and Nick has too. They're worried about not having enough product to have on their shelves when it's released. If they sell everything and don't have any product on shelves, now people are even more pissed off. So like, what do you do? Do you just sell everything cheap, or do you raise the price a little bit to make sure it lasts a little bit of time so you have something in your shop? And it's where we're at, guys. It's COVID 2.0. That's what we're deeming it as. It's not. I'm not trying to cause FOMO. Like I just told you, we're telling you.
I'll do one name drop.
Dude, hold on. We don't even have a lot of cases ourselves. So for us to cause FOMO on this, we'd be better off causing FOMO on a set we could get infinite amount of.
Yeah, exactly. Like a while ago, I was talking to the Pokey Hive, Cole, and he's huge. And he told me, this is like, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, a month ago, he was like, my allocations are less than Stellar Crown. And I was like, I don't know about that. And he was like, that's why I need to know numbers now. And it truly is going to be, there's going to be less product in Stellar Crown. And it's 100% true. And I'm just seeing it. Like I said, I talked to so many people in this hobby, and to see, these people getting allocated less, like it's 100% real. And I hate it because now it's going to make it harder for me to get.
It's really funny. I always love the arguments from some people where they say like I hear this all the time. The only reason you're in this hobby is for money, right? But then they say all these other things like all the problems with the market. Oh, well, after shipping and fees and taxes, you don't really make any money. And I'm just like, if I'm in it for the money, but we don't make any money, what am I doing here? Right? What am I doing here, right? If this whole sealed investing thing didn't work, why do we all have cases? Do we all just like to burn money? Is that what we're doing here?
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't sell anything, so it's not about money. You
sell some stuff,
like the older stuff, not the new stuff.
I got a couple. This came from you.
The Fates Collide.
Fates. What else? Maybe the Breakthrough. I think.
No, it was Fates and
Roaring.
Roaring. Yep. Fates and Roaring.
Yeah, I don't know, dude. I remember. So at CollectCon, Nick was hanging out at the booth, and we put a Cosmic box away, and he put on there for Alex. And so it got to the end of the CollectCon. I'm like, hey, man, we need to settle up. What do you want for the box? You want like a trade? You want cash? And he's just like, I think I'm just going to take it home, brother.
In my defense, I tried buying 3, right? And I offered like 9 apiece for 3, and the guy wouldn't do it. And I was going to try to get it and give it to him. And if I can't even get it, he wouldn't even take, he wanted like 1,000 for each, and he wouldn't do a deal. So I was like, if I can't buy them anymore, why would I get rid of them? Exactly. It's just too tough.
Hey, someone's asking, what's your oldest and most valuable set? I don't have any. Like back in the day, I would say it was probably Base Unlimited, or maybe Gym Challenge First Edition at one point was more valuable than that. Yeah. Those were the most valuable sets I did own before the pandemic. I sold them. Now, right behind me, probably. I just sold Team Up, so now it's probably Furious Fist or XY Base.
This is how I know he's a collector, right? I'll answer that question after the story real quick. So I watched Alex sell a Team Up box, and it killed him on the inside so bad.
Dude, that was a minty box.
It was a minty box, and I was like, see, I knew you were a collector. Didn't want to sell it, but he did, but it like crushed the collector side of him. For me, like at one point it was Fire Red Leaf Green, base set, Gym Challenge First Edition, Team Rocket First Edition.
What do you have right now? You still have a base set, don't you?
No, I got rid of the base set and I put it all into 151 Japanese.
What a great idea.
It already proved itself. But right now, probably Call Legends. Call Legends probably the most expensive box I have right now.
It's wild, man.
Yeah, it's a good box.
How far are you on the black and white collection? Like, how many boxes do you have left to complete that?
Dude, I had the whole black and white set, And then, except for one box, I just needed a Plasma Storm. I had Dark Explorers. I had every black and white box. And this was before the boom again, like the most recent, this boom that we're going through, because they're all up again. But I bought my house and I wanted to redo my house. So I sold a lot of slabs and I sold black and white boxes. So now I'm starting black and white all over again. So I'm really far behind on black and white.
So we both talk about this, and this could just be me and you because we're both more sealed collectors. But we had this conversation at Collecticon. I don't know if it's everyone else out there, and you guys can let us know in the chat. It hurts so much more letting go of a box than it does a slab.
Oh, a million %.
And guys, here, I'll go ahead. Let's share it. Let me share Nick's Instagram real quick. We got, because to really put this in perspective, we're not talking about like just like slabs, modern slabs that are like $300. Okay, so here's some of the stuff that he owned, like stuff like this, right? Like all the big 3 EXs, Gengar and Gyarados EX, right? See some other things. Where's your Mario Luigi? There you go. He had the Mario Luigi Pikachu. I saw those in his hands, like the PSA 10 Gengar from Phantom Forces, right? What were some other big ones you had down here? Here's all the alts. Yeah, the secret rare Gyarados. We had
Average Charizard.
Secret, yeah. I mean, where are all those at? It must have been a while ago. Here's some right here.
Yep, that whole set.
All the Skyridge set. So, like, I mean, and you can go scroll through his Instagram, but Nick has had some major slabs, and he even agrees, like, it's infinitely harder to let go of a box than it is a slab, and it's just because, there's always less of these boxes out there, but it feels like you can always find the slab.
You can always find the slab.
Always.
And a lot of times, like if I was to sell any of like the sealed that I had at the time, instead of the slabs, I would have a lot of those slabs, like 60% of the slabs dropped, right? When all the sealed went up. So it was just, I mean, I love my slabs, but sealed's value just retains so well.
Yeah. I mean, display is so much nicer too. Let's be honest.
Yeah. I have a new shelf that my wife got me for my birthday that I still have to put together. And
I don't know, man. It's looking like it's got a lot of weight on there. You probably should get some of that off. I could probably help you out with like the Phantom Forces. What else do we got?
Yeah, we have some.
You might need to let go of some of those, man. Take some weight off.
That's why I got the new shelf, because like I'm afraid that when he starts crawling and walking, like this shelf will mount to the wall. And then it's a lot more sturdier. Like this could be dangerous for him.
Hey, let's talk about something else. Let's talk about this question right here. So Jason, it's not a question, but he said, selling my Evolving Skies booster case wave 1 hurt like heck. Let's talk a little bit about first print. So this was included in my conspiracy theory video. We've had multiple conversations about this. And I finally came around to your side of seeing things.
Yeah, because first print, there was times when I was opening first print Evolving Skies cases, and I'd pull like 3 alt arts, and then I'd open a second print case, and then I'd pull 1 or 0, or I'd pull like 2 little V's or whatever. So first print, even with, and then I was 1,000% confident with Crown Zenith, right? The first print was so good, and then the second print, not so much. And then 151, the first print booster bundles are insane. Like you pull a hit in every one. In the reprints, you don't pull a hit in every one of them now. So first print has, I mean, even with Unified Minds, I remember I pull multiple rainbows, right? Or the alts. And in Unified Minds, now it's like with the second prints, they've been doing this for as long as I can remember personally. So
I'm crossing my fingers those products Extreme had are good hit rates.
Yeah, I mean,
guys, if you guys didn't know, and most people who have stores probably don't know about this item.
I've only seen 2 of those ever.
What's that?
I've only seen 2 of those. One in Face Wide. And my buddy said he had Evolving Skies, and then so this is the 3rd time.
So if you guys don't know, they actually make items, and I don't even know how you get them, and because I asked Eli about them, he doesn't know anything about them. So it's for the upper echelon apparently, but they are actual cases distributed by distributors. The whole same Pokemon logo. It's all the same. It's a real product, and it's just filled of 750 packs. No boxes, no tins. It's literally just loose packs inside a distribution box. and it's a 750 count pack box of 151, and they've made them for multiple other sets as well. And so I'm hoping the hit rates in those are good, because I did buy one for the streams. It was like a $4,900 something like that's what I ended up paying for it, because the packs are so outrageous right now. But so we're gonna see how that goes. But
I thought he was sleeping. I was gonna put him in this.
Oh, you're good, man. It's just crazy the stuff that's out there in this hobby.
You know, that product is so awesome. Like, that's something I would grab and like just put away. You know, put in storage, put that to the side. That thing is cool.
Yeah.
It's so
I mean, unfortunately, I have to open it because I have a stream to run.
But it's so heavy. That thing weighs so much.
Yeah, I was surprised when he gave me the shipping charge. It wasn't even that much.
Really?
He only charged me like $25 in shipping.
Okay. What do you use, like FedEx Ground?
I have no idea.
Yeah, that thing is super heavy.
I should have just picked it up at CollectCon, but of course I didn't.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what's going on with 151. I was just talking to Colson about this Moonlight, and it's like it's been consistent, like it's releasing nonstop, but like I want to be able to buy more cases of ETBs, right?
You let some go recently, right?
Yeah, let some go, because I in my head I'm like they gotta reprint this, and I'm not that guy that's like, oh, we need reprints. Like I had plenty of Paldea when it came out, you know. And I was able to grab a couple more cases for a really good price. But it's just like, where the heck is the reprint for 151? If you guys don't know,
Nick's hooked up with the Cabal, so.
A little bit.
He's hooked up with the Cabal. He still won't let me come to the meetings yet, but he's in. He's initiated. He's a made man, as you would say.
A little bit. Yeah, I get some pretty good deals. I mean, but you know, it's cool because you meet like some really good people in this hobby. Like there really are. Like you'll meet some of your like best friends in this hobby.
Yeah. No, for sure, man. What about the difference of being like where you live, like up in New Jersey? Let's talk a little about that, dude.
And like selling wise,
I mean, it's just like when I was up there and like seeing. I mean, it's just, you guys have such a different market than other people in the country. I think it might be a little like that in California, maybe a little in Texas or Florida, a little bit. I mean, you guys up in New Jersey, New York, having a card show literally every single weekend, having like some of the biggest shows, having some of the biggest people in the hobby all like centered in one place. I mean, everyone lives up in the Northeast. Like, I mean, even like, you know, you got Pokey Rev, you got Cool Trainer Ryan. I mean, I know you were just in an event with Cool Trainer Ryan a couple weeks ago, right?
Yeah, we were ripping Roaring Skies together.
Yeah, I mean, you got Rob RNG Games and his wife running those card shows up there. Like,
yeah,
it's just such a different world. And I talk about it all the time. Like, well, I'll joke with them. I'll be like, well, yeah, dude, you live in an Instagram and in-person world. Like on online world, those prices don't exist, you know?
It's just like the community up here. I mean, a lot of people in Jersey, it's a lot. How do I say it? It's really expensive living in Jersey, right? And New York's only like a half hour from me, not even. And it's very easy for me to sell because you have some of the biggest people in the hobby in this area, New Jersey, New York. And I mean, look, Ryan just bought all my 3-pack Ancient Origin blisters. He bought a case of Unbroken Bonds blisters, 3-pack. So it's like when you have people in this hobby that are this big, it makes it. I could send a text message to 10 people and 8 of them will give me offers on what I'm selling. And the thing is, it's most of the time it's in person, like, oh, hold this Evolving Skies case, give it to me at the show. Right. And you create a bond and trust with all these people that I'm very grateful for the position about, you know, being in this area, because it's just, the hobby's so strong over here. It's very, very strong over here.
How much do you credit like being where you're at to like living up there? Like, do you think you could have built this if you would have lived in like where I'm at in the Midwest?
You'd have to see, in a way, look at Moonlight, right? He lives in middle of nowhere, Indiana, and he networks like no other. Like at con, I watched him, you know, get number after number. It's definitely tougher out there because you have to network, go to cons and network with all these people. See, over here, like you said, there's a show this Sunday that's huge. And then the weekend after that, there's another big show. whether it's New Jersey, New York, we always have shows. And then you go there and you're going to run into a couple big people, and then you create these relationships. So it's definitely a little bit easier with my location, right? But look, I had to go to Chicago to make some deals with people from the Midwest.
Dude, I still don't know how you did that. This maniac, he drove from New Jersey to Chicago Collecticon, which ended up being what, like a 15-hour drive with traffic?
Yeah, it was supposed to be 11, and it was 15.
Stays for literally a day and a half, and then drives back. Like 30 hours of driving for like a day and a half at Collecticon just to make a couple deals because he had people in the Midwest he had to make deals with. Like, that's dedication. That's a lot of people wouldn't go through that. So got to give him respect there. Did you guys have any questions or any like topics you wanted us to hit on? It's always a pleasure when we get Pokey Plumber to hop on the channel. So if you guys got anything you want us to talk about, leave it in the chat and we'll take it. I don't know how much time Nick's got today, but
no, I just put him to sleep. Let me just put on his.
No, you're good, man. What's your day look like? How much time you got?
Dude, I am chilling today. I didn't go to work.
Took the day off?
I did. Well, he was up at like 3 a.m, 4:30. So I sent Brad to a couple of jobs. He was looking for some work. So I'm just relaxing today, man. Oh, and the reason I did drive to Chicago was because I was picking up, cases of Paldea, cases of Stellar Crown. So I kind of had no choice but to drive a little bit. It was because I don't want to ship all that stuff. And then when I'm grabbing the, Call Legends box, Majestic Dawn, I want them to remain perfect and mint, right? So that was another reason why I drove. And then what are the chances? I'm literally walking out of the elevator or walking into the elevator and Alex walks out at the same exact time.
That was wild. That was crazy.
What is the chance of that?
Yeah, that was the whole weekend just went perfect. Like I feel like that was like the most smooth weekend. Like, the vending went good. Like I didn't like
Dr. Applesauce. That was a great night.
Oh yeah, we went to dinner. Absolutely.
Yeah.
By the way, Brian, graded never faded. If you're watching this, you're sitting right on here with us soon, dude. You're not backing out.
We gotta get Brian on here.
We're gonna get graded never faded on. If you guys don't know who he is, he sells some high end stuff, man. He's got some high end slabs that he moves.
Like 9.5 Gold Star Rays, 9.5 first edition Charizards. Like yep. I met Brian when he had a total of maybe like $500 in slabs, and now it's like $250,000. Yeah,
it is wild.
It's beautiful to see, but that's in all seriousness, that is the beauty of this hobby. When you meet people in the beginning with what they start with to what they end up with, right? And it's just like I've seen so many of my good friends grow in this hobby and make a great living out of this hobby. That's another beautiful thing. It's not just about collecting, but people are making livings, financial stability due to this hobby. That's why.
That's what goes into this question by Simon. Like, I wonder, do you guys collect or pure investing? Like, it's just, it evolves. Like, you never lose that collector in you.
Never.
But, at some point you have to ask, like, what's better? Like, is it better for me to have to part with things every now and then and be able to run this business and have a lot of things go through my hands and like invest to be able to sell? Or is it better to just be a pure collector and go work a job I hate? Like, you got to make those distinctions. For me, I like doing this full time. Sure, I have to let things go every now and then that I normally wouldn't want to. But at the end of the day, like you never really stop being a collector. You just get more, I don't know. You just get more like, I guess, like financially savvy as a collector, if that makes sense.
See, it's a little bit different for me because like I own a plumbing company and like, yes, I like to make money off it, but look, I wouldn't even sell him like one of my really good friends. I wouldn't even sell him my Cosmic box because that's my favorite set. That's like what like made me fully hooked in this hobby was Cosmic Eclipse. So, I mean, it's like a battle, right? Like some things, yeah, I take profits. I mean, I moved a lot of my 3-pack blisters. Like I had cases of 144 unbroken bonds. I moved a lot of my collection boxes, older 3-pack blisters, sleeve blisters, and I confined everything down to like booster boxes. I mean, I still have like UPCs, ETBs, stuff like that, but I do sell that kind of stuff. Like if I'm like, all right, I just want to focus on this area, I will move stuff and then take the profits, but it goes right back into the hobby, right?
Yeah.
That's what it does.
Yeah, I feel like it's like I don't know. I know people ask that question because like we talk about a lot of finances, but I feel like you could ask that question for anyone that does like what they love. It's like, I mean, do you ask like a golf instructor who's like out there giving golf lessons and coaching every day? Like, hey, do you even like golf, or do you just like do this because you're good at it and you can make money? It's just like, well, no, but I get to make money doing it. It takes part of my time to do that, but it's better than doing something else. Like, it's kind of like that same answer in anything.
Well, who gets into Pokemon from not loving it in the beginning? Like, I don't understand.
I'm sure there's like a 1% of people out there nowadays, but
like, dude, it's like, I don't know. 99% of the people I see, you know, they're like, oh, I'm buying this and I like this box, I don't want to sell it. Like, I see that all the time. I mean, a lot of these people are collectors, right?
Yeah.
Like, even though Graded Never Faded Brian like sells stuff, he has a PSA 10 first edition Dark Raichu that's his favorite card. Like, he'll never sell that, right? Like, so a lot of people like have these PC items, so obviously they're collectors. Even though they're selling, they're still a collector.
Yeah, I think even like, you know, myself, like I never planned on selling my vintage boxes. It was, you know, and I watched them go from, you know, 1,500 to $2,000 up to $3,000 and $4,000 and $5,000, and it didn't even cross my mind. But then when they went to $15,000, $20,000, $25,000, and you know, it became like life-changing money, you know, it changes things, right? And so it's like, unfortunately, unless you're just like ultra wealthy and literally money doesn't mean anything, the finances are always going to come into play at some point.
Yeah, I mean, that's a different story. But like for me, like when I bought those unified cases, I was like, when they hit, you know, $350 a box, I'll get rid of a case. And then I was like, no, I'll wait until they hit 4 and then 5. And then it's like, and some with some items, I'm like, all right, like I'd rather just hold it. But I don't know. Because I said the same thing with Cosmic. Look where Cosmic is now. I mean, even Cool Trainer Ryan, he's like, bro, he's like, sell some of it. You know, like he literally told me to sell some of this stuff. He's like, you're into it for nothing, sell it. But I don't know if Cosmic becomes a 2K,
which is wild coming from him. Like he didn't sell anything forever.
I know, and he also said to invest in Charizard UPCs.
Dude, remember when I was on that OK J Love and I had to throw out the original investor, bro.
Dude, I'll tell you, like when I first got in the hobby, I found him and it was all about investing. A lot of these guys were
so was Pokevault.
Yeah. Oh,
and I mean, and Rev, I know Rev's never like publicly been like that kind of channel, but like he's been a sealed investor since day one. Like he said in interviews before that I've watched that 99% of everything he has is sealed. Yeah. Like everyone's known this forever. It's just now people are finally coming around to it. And, you know, the pack opening channels, they don't like to talk about that because it's kind of what like all the big streamers, like outside of Pokemon, just like big mainstream streamers, they never like to talk about money. They just like to keep it all about fun and entertainment. And that's their job, right? Because when you start talking about money, it clouds things. And so even though a lot of the big pack openers don't talk about money, a lot of them still understand the importance of sealed product in this industry.
I mean, even OK J Love, like he has boxes that he doesn't want to open. Why don't you want to open them? You know, it's like I'm not even getting in that topic and it drives me insane.
Here, let's talk about this one. This one comes up every time. How many people out there are holding serious amounts of this stuff, dude? He needs an exact number. How many? 1,460 people.
I mean, there's a good amount. There's definitely a good amount, but the way I mean, look at the hobby right now. Look how many people are in it. So, I mean, the population is always going to grow. Streamers are our best friend because they're always going to rip product. These the mystery packs are fantastic. So, I mean, at the end of the day, yeah, people are like, I heard that during, you know, like when I got into it, everyone from the XY era was like, oh, everybody held it because of Pokemon Go. Like I dabbled during Pokemon Go, but I didn't start buying the way I did until around Detective Pikachu. But I've heard this every era now, like for 4 eras, right? And it's all, I mean, I don't even care anymore. You know, they can hold as much as they want.
I mean,
it's gonna do its thing.
Yeah, I mean, look, guys, there's definitely more than before, but it's just like looking at like population reports on cards. the population reports have been higher every era. They're higher in XY than Black and White. They're higher in Sun and Moon. They're higher in Sword and Shield, and they're probably going to be higher in Scarlet and Violet.
I don't know about that. Scarlet and Violet QC is pretty
maybe it won't be, but the fact of the matter is there's more people in the hobby now than ever. And so the population reports, the cards are being printed to match demand. And sure, this is why like I'm more pro sealed product. Demand could fall off at such a rate where the singles do get affected and they don't do well long term, but sealed product, it's always going to be less and less. And so demand could actually fall off quite a bit and sealed products still perform very well because there's so much less of it every single day. So like there could come a day when there's not enough demand for the singles, but I don't know. I just think here's the thing about sealed product is online, everyone's got a story. Like Rudy talks about this, right? There's always these stories of like all these warehouses full and everyone's got, a mountain of cases in their basement. You guys know how it is. Everyone likes to, embellish online. They want to talk bigger than they are. And they want to say they bought 20 cases when they really only bought 2. And here's the other thing is nobody holds. We've seen it. How many people have we seen selling Sword and Shield cases right now? People that said, I'm going to hold 5 to 10 years.
I get messages every day if I'll buy this, if I'll buy this.
No one holds.
No.
Everyone holds until it gets to like $150, $200 a box. Then they freak out. They sell it.
And then a streamer buys it for dirt cheap and rips it.
Yeah. I would guess a lot of people are doing it, but I would say a very small fraction of people are doing it 5 years later or have products they bought 5 years earlier. That's what I would say.
Alex and I did the math of Rudy's palette, right? And let's say he dumped all his Twilight Masquerade. In the grand scheme of things, those boxes would be gone in a heartbeat, and maybe the market will stay stagnant for a little bit. But with all those cases and boxes he has, it's not that much.
Yeah, guys. So Rudy always talks about how he has like 1,000 to 2,000 boxes, right? So let's just say 1,500 boxes divided by 6. That's 250 cases. Okay. If you go look on TCG Player, eBay, other places, there's probably at least 25 to 50 boxes of those things selling a day. Like if you take 25 boxes times 30 days, that's 750. In 2 months, Rudy's entire position of some of this will be gone. Not only that, his stuff will never hit the market because all he has to do is sell it for just under market to all of his Patreons. He's got over 3,000 Patreon members.
Look, every time he makes a video, his quantity of Evolving Skies has gone down 4 times, right? So it was at 1,000, then it was at 800, then it's at 7. Now he's at, I think, at 5 or 6. But look, where's all that Evolving Skies?
He slowly released it to his Patreon members. Yep. No one even sees it hit the market. It doesn't even do anything.
Yeah, like you don't know how many Twilight boxes he has left, right? Like,
do most collectors have full-time jobs or put their collections on credit cards? I'm trying to cash flow my collection after 2 years and only have 15,000 worth of product. 2 things. We were just talking about this. I feel like out of kind of our group of people that we talk to, I'm probably like the poorest person. And people think I have like a huge position. And we were talking about that. Compared to normal people, I do. But like there are whales in this hobby that make me look like a minnow. And it's just like, dude, so one, there's a lot of people with a lot of money. 2, I think a lot of people that when they're early on, they flip their collection a lot. They're constantly buying and selling to grow. Kind of like we're talking about Brian with Graded Never Faded grew like $500 in slabs to hundreds of thousands in slabs in a couple of years. So I think they're constantly not taking any money out of the hobby and constantly flipping and just like growing their collection and position that way. And then, there's a certain amount of people that maybe put stuff on credit cards, but I don't think it's as wide blown as a lot of people make it out to be. But you tell me, man, what do you think?
Like, I don't know, dude. I want to say it right.
Say it, man. This is Nostalgianomics. There's no censors here.
You put that question back up.
Give it to him straight. Okay, here, hold on. Here it is. Give it to him straight. Don't hold back. Hey, not to make you nervous. You are talking to 560 people live right now.
There's that many people right now?
There is, dude. Appreciate all you guys being here for this.
I'm proud of you, dude. Man, look at those numbers.
Dude, we didn't even plan this. I was just trying to talk surging. You wanted to hop on. So middle of the day on a Friday, whatever. This is what we do.
So, I mean, there's so many answers to this because it's like the thing is, I see people buy at like 70%, right? Because there are people that sell at 70%. Like that's how I watched Brian grow, because he was constantly, like trades were so important to him, right? Because trades, he's taking their card at even a less percentage, and he's giving a big card that he's already, I don't want to give up like his game, but like he's giving them a bigger card that either A, he graded, or B, he's into for a fraction. So the money just built. He was doing it on such a volume. And keep in mind, he goes to every Collecticon, right? He goes to almost every New Jersey show. And he does have a full-time job. He's an accountant, right? And I always tell him, I was like, bro, like with what you're doing with Pokemon, you should do it, just make it full-time and you'll do it even better. But a lot of these people I know, they do have full-time jobs, right? But I've also seen there's at least 4 people around here who I'm really close with that made this full-time. And the craziest thing is these kids are 21, 22 with 6-figure inventory like no other. Like my buddy, JC Collectibles, check him out. His inventory is beautiful. K&M Collectibles, his inventory is insane. Parker, he does the point of view on YouTube. And I watch all these guys grow and grow. But in the beginning, they all had those full-time jobs to fund this. And then they were just so persistent and consistent with this hobby and these shows and buying at percentages that it just kept growing and growing and growing. Like I've seen these kids, I call them kids because I'm in my 30s, but I've seen these kids turn, 25 grand into 6 figures in not even 5 months, right? It's just how much effort are you willing to put in this hobby? Like in the time they'd be working and they'd be on their computer or on their phone and they're looking at this deal on all the Facebook pages. Hey, will you take this whole lot at 80%? And it was like they started with their credit cards, right? That's how I remember. I'm not going to say who, but they maxed out all their credit cards. But now all their credit cards are paid off and they have 200K of inventory. Does that make sense?
I want to go ahead and share the screen because like this gets talked about a lot, and I don't think this has anything to do with it this time either, guys. Where'd they say? Yeah, so it was PokeHex talking about how the crypto and the Pokemon markets are correlated.
It's always like that.
People have said that, but look, the charts don't show that. This is CoinMarketCap. This is Bitcoin. It's been stagnant for ever since March. It's done nothing since March. It's been up and down. Pokemon has been crushing it for the last 6 months. Crypto's been doing nothing.
Well, whenever crypto's up, I see a lot of crypto people put all their money into Pokemon, right?
But what I'm saying is, like, it's been at this price for 6 months now. Like, why are we seeing a huge demand all of a sudden in the last month, 2 months, 3 months? Like, why are we seeing Twilight? Why are we seeing 151 all of a sudden? Why is surging like this? Like, we're not seeing a massive run in crypto.
Because Pokemon is a genius, right? Whoever is on their marketing team deserves a raise because they saw what happened with Paradox. Paradox, there was so much of it, and I can't believe a big company halted their print runs like this that fast. Usually, the bigger the company, the longer it takes for them to, So what they're doing right now is just perfect. You have to give them credit. It's insane. They're not over, like, even though demand's crazy, they're not saturating the market. They're just not. I am astonished with how well they're handling this.
Dude, it's just, and I see people in the chat, no matter what happens, and this is why, like, I understand why Rudy and other people get so, like tired of talking about it because there's so many people online and there's always new groups of people every couple of years and everyone wants to have a reason, right? They all want to come up with these reasons on why Pokemon goes up. Before it was, oh, it's Pokemon Go. And then it was, oh, it's this, it's the pandemic, it's Logan Paul, it's Gary V. Now it's because, crypto cycles. And everyone wants to come up with all these crazy ideas or it's the YouTubers manipulating the market. Guys, the stuff just goes up over time due to scarcity. It's that simple. If you want to play around and come up with all these little ideas in your head of why this happened when, go for it. If you want to, get out of the whole like conspiracy theory mindset and, we can talk about the earth being flat and the dragons coming to get you, winter's coming later. It's just, there's some things that have some, effects on it with what's going on in crypto or the economy or stock market or whatever. At the end of the day, the Pokemon market has done well and ups and downs and good economies, bad economies, Democrat president, Republican president, everything you could think of. Pokemon markets continue to be strong in the last 10 years. I think you're trying to find something where there isn't. I think you're digging too hard.
We're in horrible times right now. There's multiple wars going on. The election's about to go on, which is going to cause craziness. There's so much turmoil in the world, and Pokemon's like, hold my beer. I got this. It's kind of insane. And the thing is, like, it scares me when I see growth that fast, right?
Yeah.
Like I like to see what's going on with like Chilling Reign, like that. I love Chilling Reign, always have. Dude, I was buying cases at $4.80 a case, and the guy was like, "You have to take 10 of them." I'm like, "Okay," And like I like a slow growth, like it with Twilight Masquerade. I love that's like my favorite set right now of Scarlet and Violet, or besides base 151, not base set. But what we're seeing right now, it's like, dude, how like it. I don't know. There's just too much proof at this point.
Oh man, dude, I get this every time too. I hate calling people out because like they're probably new, they haven't been here for the channel. This is like a meme on my channel at this point. At what point do you feel like you're sitting on too valuable product to invest in a climate controlled storage unit? It's always the storage, it's always the insurance policies, or it's always like, how are you going to sell this stuff in the future? Or who are you going to sell it to? Those are like the main memes on the channel that everyone asks every live stream.
Yeah, I mean, I have really good insurance, but it's like you and I talked about the insurance not too long ago. I don't know. I hate getting into. I mean, I guess you have to.
I mean, here's the thing, guys. Like, is your house climate controlled? Right? Do you have an insurance policy? Like, I mean, I think people get too crazy with it. Like, what are you going to do? Put the box inside of a sleeve, inside of an acrylic case, inside of another box, inside of a plastic container, inside of a storage unit, in a bomb shelter. Like, at what point do you have enough protection on your product?
Dude, I've seen base set boxes that sat in Texas heat storage units.
Yes.
That were hitting like 130 degrees, and there was cards coming out of it grading 10s. Like, I don't know.
Dude, I have stuff. I don't put my boxes really in anything.
Yeah,
I opened
in my house right now. My boxes are fine.
I opened a box on camera. Someone graded a 10 from Primal Clash. Someone graded a Primal. It was either Kyogre or Groudon on a PSA 10 out of a box that's just been sitting on a shelf in a regular. I don't know, in the around 70 degree house. Like, it's not that serious. It's just not.
Yeah, as long as it's not sitting in the sun with the.
Here's what I tell people too: if you have an amount of Pokemon that makes you that uncomfortable, maybe you're not ready for that level of investment, right? It's like maybe you should put your money into something else you feel more comfortable in. The reason I have a lot of Pokemon, I feel very comfortable in it. I understand the market. I understand how to sell it if I need to sell it. If you don't feel that way, don't invest in this stuff. Like, just have a very small amount of your money in it, use it as entertainment. But like, don't get yourself in a position where you're like worried, like in a panic all the time.
Yeah, like make sure that like you don't put all your eggs in one basket. Like, all my money's not in Pokemon. You can't do that. Like, yeah, I have a good amount, but it's also like, make sure you have your 401k. Make sure you have these other things that people say are like that's what you need to have. But
goes into this question or this statement. Do you ever get concerned you have too much percentage of your wealth in Pokemon? I'm a year into it, but going hard. I don't, because my goals in life and my risk tolerance is different than everyone else. Like, if your risk tolerance isn't the same as mine, you're not going to have the same amount of investment I do. With me, I've studied pretty much every wealthy person out there, and every single one of them is going to tell you the same thing: is if you believe in something, you go all in. No one's gotten ultra wealthy or done really anything major in life without not diversifying. Like, diversification is what you do. Warren Buffett's famously said this: you diversify when you don't know what you're doing. If you know what you're doing, that's when you go at it. So it's like anyone who's built major companies, everyone knows they put all of their time, effort, money, strength into, right? Anyone who's done really well in real estate, usually they went all in on real estate. Anyone who's done really well in the stock market, they've had all their energy, attention, money in there. It's just like, the reason I put so much of my time, effort, and money into Pokemon is because, one, I understand this market more than any other market. It's very easy to get ahead when you have more information and you're more time in. You understand it better than other people because you can maneuver easier than them, and so it makes more sense for me. If you're just like know nothing and you're just kind of baseline, you're just like randomly throwing money at it, For you, it might not make as much sense. What's your take on all that?
I mean, for me, like, think about this. I mean, you know this. So I drove home from Collecticon on the weekend. And then the first thing I did Monday was I was out until work until like 8:30 Monday night, then Tuesday, then Wednesday, then Thursday. So I have other avenues of income for me, right? Like I'm a plumber, but I don't put all my money here. I put a decent amount, you know. One, it's fun. Two, I love Pokemon. Three, my kids love Pokemon, right? So they have something that if anything ever happened to me, God forbid, would go to them. But I'm also smart with other avenues of my money. It's not just all in Pokemon. Like I have other important investments, right? Just if you're dumping 80% of your paycheck into Pokemon and nothing else, then I don't recommend that. I mean, I don't know what Pokemon's going to do. You can't guarantee it, right? But I feel comfortable with having some money in Pokemon. I just do. I mean, this is how I see it too. Like I know.
Here's the funny part, right? Like
Hold on.
Okay.
So I know Alex doesn't like leaks and everything, but Pokemon is coming out with a Netflix show, right, on Red, about Red, and they want to have 8 seasons of this show. So I know for 8 years, maybe more, if a season comes out every year and a half, it could be longer than that. But I know 8 years from now, Pokemon's still going to be relevant because one, everybody watches Netflix, and two, it's about, my opinion, the greatest trainer ever, Red. And you have another thing, and then you have these video games consistently coming out every 2-3 years. So it's like Pokemon's always around, right? And when I went trick or treating with my kids last year, I saw so many kids. As you know, I saw Pikachus, I saw Charmanders. When I go to con, I see how many people are in this hobby, right? So even though there's a lot of struggle right now, people want that escape and they're going to the hobby. So I know personally, right, this is how I feel, that no matter what, 8 years from now, Pokemon's still going to be relevant. So for the next 8 years, whether there's ebbs and flows, I'm going to keep buying it because there's still Pokemon on Netflix. There's still video games. There's still cards. There's still Pokemon Go. There's still the new Pokemon game on your phone. That's how I feel.
I mean, we've been in the hobby a lot longer, but I mean, I've been in the hobby. I've been on YouTube for almost 3 years. And just going back just these small 3 years, I've heard it all, dude. I've heard every reason why Pokemon goes up, why it's going to crash, why it's going to fail, why you shouldn't have your money in it. You know, all the crazy stuff like you should only have this percentage of your net worth. You need to max out your 401k and max out your Roth IRA and do all this other stuff. And it's just like, dude, if that's what you want to do, have at it. Right. But it's just like saying these things like anything is guaranteed. It's ridiculous. It's ridiculous because I can show you very easily that my Pokemon investments have crushed anyone's 401k or Roth IRA investments because they've crushed every mutual fund that's out there. They've crushed the S&P index. And so any mutual fund that you're being offered through all of your brokerage firms, whether it be the Vanguards, the Fidelities, the T. Rowe Prices, I don't care what fund you're in, Pokemon investing has crushed it over the past 5 to 10 years. And the fact of the matter is, if you had a fund offered to you, right? Here's the other question, guys. How many of you can even name all the stocks that are in the funds that you own in your mutual funds? No one can, right? Very few in the entire world can actually name the stocks in their funds. So all you do when you go to a company, what do? You look at their list of funds that you can invest in. And you say, I'll invest in this, 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 and this. I got an index. I've got a small cap growth. I got a large cap growth, and I got a foreign stock fund, right? And all you did was look at how they've performed over the past 5, 10, 20 years, whatever lifetime of the account. If I could literally show you an account of how Pokemon Seals performed in the last 5, 10, whatever years, you'd pick that. If you didn't know it was Pokemon, you would pick that fund on your 401k sheet. That's what's funny about this whole thing. Because on percentage wise, it crushes all the other investments. It's just the way it is. I don't know. It's just, I always get a kick out of that.
Sorry, I missed half of that.
No, you're good, man. I'm just looking for more. It's just the same stuff. Every bull cycle, it's the same stuff, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, the thing is too, when it comes to growth, you have to understand that there's new people in this hobby. You know, people come and go, and what is it, every 2 years? So then it's like in 2 years from now, people are gonna be like, oh, I want that Sword and Shield box. Oh, $400 doesn't seem too bad, right? It's the same thing with the consistent growth. It's just like when I got into this too, like even when I got into it before the hype and COVID, like, dude, older black and white boxes were still expensive. You know, EX packs were still expensive. It all even grew before the hype, but now there's just so many people in it that it grows a little bit faster. I mean, I think the market is the strongest it's been in a long time because look at like Scarlet and Violet. It's doing very well right now. I don't know. I mean, and the thing is, I'm consistently watching the market. So if things start like looking bad, yeah, I can liquidate a decent amount and then still keep what I enjoy, what I love. Like honestly, like if cosmic boxes drop to dirt cheap, I'd buy them and open them. You know, like
Yeah.
there's
I've
always
seen
people
multiple
that will
people.
buy no matter what. If an EX box, right? Like let's say if a base set box was a tank and dropped down to $5,000, I guarantee you wouldn't even get the $5,000 because people would see that and be like, oh, I'm buying that for $5,000. So it's like even if it drops, there's still going to be people that are buying it up.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen multiple questions now coming in. I guess you guys haven't been here since the beginning, asking about like, why is Surging Spark doing this? It's manipulated. Someone saying like, don't follow the Rudy army or whatever. Guys, this has nothing to do with anyone else. These are real raw numbers. I'm going to repeat them one more time because there are 540 people in here. Eli Pokemart USA. He's one of the largest accounts that I deal with in the Southeast, and he's like the third on Southern Hobbies distro list, and so he gets some of the highest allocations. His allocations he got for Stellar Crown were 3,600 boxes. They cut him to 2,000 boxes on Surging Spark. Surging Spark is infinitely more hyped, infinitely a better set than Stellar Crown, and we're getting almost half as much. Now, all the stores are going through that. We talked about it before. Me and Nick, we had multiple other orders put in with other people. All of those got cut. Some of those got canceled. He's barely getting enough for himself. I'm barely getting enough for myself. We're still trying to find more boxes. They're not out there. Every big store, every big seller is starting to take down their pre-orders. I think there's only 2 sellers left on all of eBay that still have pre-orders up. Everyone's took them down because they're worried they're not going to have enough supply. Stores are worried they're not going to have enough booster boxes to put on their shelves if they don't, 1, raise the price, or 2, just take them down on pre-orders. And so the hype is real. This is not some like FOMO panic, manipulation scam.
One of the biggest sellers on eBay took his pre-orders down.
Yeah.
Probably the biggest seller on eBay.
Yeah, I mean, this is no like manipulation tactic. This is telling you how it is. Like, this is just the raw numbers. You can take it however you want. You can think like, oh, maybe it'll be a reprint in the future or a restock, and maybe it'll come down to $100. Maybe. People played that game with Paldea Evolved. We got a restock. It came down to 130 and went back up. So you can play that game if you want to wait. But we've seen the majority of people that wait in this hobby never be able to get in when, think about this. Me, I'm a great example. When we were talking about 151 and you were moving into cases and I said, I don't know, there's a lot of people talking about another reprint, and another reprint never came. And all of a sudden the $50 boxes dried up, and then $60 dried up, and then $70. And now Japanese 151's back up to like $100. And it's unlikely another reprint's going to come. If one does, it's unlikely it's going to jet it back down to 50. And it's just the I'm going to wait mentality has never worked in this hobby. And you can cite some sources like, well, Alex Chilling Reign Fusion Strike or Alex Lost Origin came back down in reprint. Yeah, I mean, there's some instances, but again, you probably could have got Lost Origin cheaper. I know you could have at release. You could have got all these sets most of the time cheaper at release, other than a handful of sets in all of modern Pokemon. And so, if you guys want to wait, go ahead. But if you miss out, don't get on here and complain that everything's being manipulated and it's all buyouts by all these wealthy whales. It's because the market's strong and you missed out. Simple as that.
Yeah, I mean, if anything, everyone can see what happened with Paldea. Like Paldea Evolved was down to, $85, $90 a box. And then it went up, and then reprint happened, and people still couldn't find cases for $750. So it's like, but they're realizing that now. Like, the reprints don't matter. You're going to be paying higher than you would have in the first print, right? Right, buddy?
Yeah, I mean, it's a fun time to be in the hobby. Like, I enjoy all the the rhetoric back and forth. It's fun. It's just like, you know, outside of literally getting, these store owners to send us their actual like allocation sheets and show people, like, literally put that on screen, like, short of that, I don't know what else I can do. Like, this isn't just some bullshit, like some YouTuber talking bullshit. We're just telling you how it is, guys. It's not going to be available. It is going to be probably 120 to 150 a box, and if it does not get a restock or a reprint in the next 3 to 6 months, it's likely going to go to 200.
Yeah, I mean, if for whoever's joining, like I said, I yell at Alex. I'm like, dude, stop pumping the setup. Like, I was the biggest, opposer of this. I'm like, dude, stop. I'm like, you're causing FOMO. And then I saw allocations drop from multiple people. I'm like, oh shit, that's not FOMO.
Well, we talked about PokeHive. Like, I told you, I'm like, he would tell me stop causing FOMO. I'm like, dude, I talked to Eli. It's not looking good. And you're like, dude, I haven't heard that from anyone. Then you started talking to your stores, and your main store you buy from said, oh no, we're going to charge you $625 a case this time, when you've always bought it like what, $570, $560?
For how many years now? Almost 6-7 years.
For how much?
And for less than that. And now they want $625.
And then you talked to PokeHive, and he couldn't give us the cases we wanted.
Yeah, if I ordered them like a month ago, yeah, and he told me, he's like, let me know because my allocations are less than Stellar Crown. And I was like, no. I
mean, like, how many of these stories do you need to hear before you believe it and stop? Is like every Pokemon person in the entire market all just getting together and trying to manipulate people? No, they just don't have enough product.
Yeah, Pokemon's just releasing less than they did with Stellar Crown. That's it. And it's crazy because this is one of the best main sets to be released, and it's the lowest printed set, and I don't understand that.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, and the people that still think it's a bad set, and you're saying you're waiting for other sets. Hey, I mean, have at it. Like,
wait, that Milotic? Are you kidding me? The High Dragon? Like,
I mean, that's another thing. The grass is always greener mentality is kind of crazy. Like, everyone always thinks the next set's going to be better. Right now it's the Evolution set, then it's the Team Rocket set, and then it'll be, something else and something else. It's like you're going to keep kicking the can down the road until we're in Gen 10. And then you're going to be talking about how bad Gen 10 is. It's just like, it's the same thing.
It is. I was told that Team Up was a bad set. Don't buy Team Up. These tag teams suck. I'll never forget that.
I don't know, man. I don't know. What's your biggest grail you're looking to pick up right now, dude? What are you searching for right now? If anyone's in this chat owns it, they can reach out to you.
I mean, I just grabbed the one box I really wanted. I really wanted Legendary Treasures. I just grabbed that. I mean, honestly, my money's going to go to Surging Spark right now, if I'm being honest.
Bro, you got fighting words in the chat.
What'd they say?
Look at this.
Bro. No.
He straight called you out.
I don't think anybody wants to be a fake Mets fan.
It's like being a fake Jets fan.
Yeah, like nobody wants to be like, my little brother's name is Jet after the New York Jets.
Dark times, man. Dark times.
I mean, it's not over yet, man. I said this.
It's not over yet.
I said Mets were going to go down 3-1 and they were going to win the series in 7 games. I said this before the series started, so we'll see what happens. I'm not losing faith on my Mets.
What about the Jets, though?
I'm a Giant fan.
Oh, okay. I was going to say, you lost faith on them, right?
I mean, I don't root against the Jets.
Maybe have Rodgers throw a few more Hail Marys.
I mean, he's got Devontae Adams, but if you don't have an offensive line, it's not going to do anything. Fake Mets fan. You're out of your mind. I suffered with them my whole life.
So Jimbo Slice wants to know, is this like the new norm? Do you think it's going to be this way for Team Rocket, Jim, etc.?
I said this to Alex last night. I am so afraid if this is what this is, and I think those sets are going to be insane. What the hell is that going to bring?
Dude, I am going to put in orders with every person I know. And if I get stuck with like 50 cases, so what?
I'll take them. Yeah, I'm going to pre-order. And the thing is, like, a lot of people want payment before the pre-order. I am paying it. Do not refund me. Just like, I want my cases. Like, if it's this bad for this set, which I think the next sets, I mean, it's speculation at this point, but I think the gym set, the Rocket set, they're going to be great. So if this is doing this, and everyone knows, I mean, it's been in the past since Sun and Moon, the last 4 sets have been stacked. Sun and Moon, Sword and Shield. So what's going to happen with these sets? I am so scared of what's going to happen.
Yeah, man. I mean, it's just like I've been working on getting my spend up with people just to make sure like I'd be, get more. And it's just like I'm not anywhere near where I need to get on these sets.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at the point like with this set, I'm just gonna grab whatever I can get.
No, Dead Lion. I don't think 151 will be outshadowed by any set, like ever.
150, dude. 151 is, that's your.
I mean, Crown Zenith's a great set. Don't get me wrong, but 151's on just such a different level. The level of nostalgia attached to that set, mixed with like modern artwork, you can't beat that. Oh, here's a good question. Do you guys open packs? Oh my gosh. I open packs on stream. I open some myself. This guy, he goes on some rampages.
Yeah, I'll be bored at night or with my kids. Like I opened some Hidden Fates the other night. I opened Cosmic. I opened Unbroken Bonds recently. Yeah, I love ripping packs. It's my guilty pleasure. I opened Chilling Rain Blisters to prove to Alex that the pull rates were better. I pulled 2 alt arts out of 3 packs.
To prove? He opens a few blisters and that proves something.
2 alt arts out of 3 packs. Out of 3 blisters, I pulled 2 alt arts.
See, guys, proof. That is proof.
Proof.
What do we prove again?
That blister cases have more hits than booster cases.
Oh, that's right. The conspiracy of different products have different hit rates.
Yeah.
Dude, for real, I can just imagine the Pokemon supply manager sitting there like, whoa. Those packs go in those collection boxes. These go in the bundles. Those packs go in the booster boxes. Those are crap packs.
Yeah, that's what they do.
Dude, come on.
That's exactly what they do.
You're really going to die on this hill?
Probably not. Yeah, there we go.
How many cases of surging? Well, we tried to get about 60. We're down to about 20.
I might be like if all my sources, which I'm not confident on, but if my sources all play out the way they should, then I should have 30. That's hopefully.
It's a big if though.
That's a big if.
And I've been telling people that and people were getting mad at me when I told them that. I was trying to tell people, hey, like they're saying, oh, I got 4 pre-ordered. I got this. I'm like, hopefully. And they're just like, no, I already paid or I already put in. It's just like, I'm just saying, we've been through this. Like anyone who wasn't around in the pandemic, pre-orders got canceled all the time. I mean, a lot of people have talked about this. What stores will do is they'll say, oh, I can get like 50% more for those. I'm just going to cancel. I'm just going to let people get angry at me, leave bad reviews, and I'm just going to relist them for full price on the market. I'm going to take advantage of all this money because I never get to make money on modern sealed product. And so it happens. So I cross my fingers that everybody out there gets their pre-orders. If I had to guess, I'm sure, maybe not the bigger guys, but I'm sure the smaller stores you ordered from, I could definitely see them trying to pull a fast one, refund your pre-orders, and sell it themselves at a higher price. So,
and unfortunately, that happens a lot more than people think.
A lot.
I've seen that happen. They're like, oh, I sold these cases at $575. I can get $675 to $725. Make $100 extra on every case. You're not getting your case. Here's your refund. That happens way more than people think. And
you got to remember, guys, like stores don't make any money on modern sealed product. No. They make like a few dollars a box usually. So a set comes around where they finally get to make a money off of it. You got to remember if they're getting 100-200 cases and they can make an extra $125 a case, that adds up quick. Like that pays their rent for the rest of the year.
Yep.
I think we said enough, man. How do you want to end things off? Is there anything else you want to talk about? Do you want to pump any more of your XY stuff?
XY and Sun and Moon. XY
pump
and
it all to the moon.
Buy as much as you can because I know people. I don't even know if I should say this.
You should say this. Just leave the names out of it.
I know people that are buying every reasonable priced XY box off of eBay right now. Clearing it out.
What are they doing with it? Like to hold?
Yeah.
Or rip?
Some to hold, some to rip. but people don't have it to sell anymore, right? And it's getting really hard to buy, so they're just clearing it out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I was late to the party, like, and I even knew it was coming. I just couldn't like find the right deals that I wanted. I couldn't get the money together fast enough to get as much XY as I wanted. And we talked about it. We knew this was coming. Like,
I told Alex this in June. I said, I'm buying XY as heavy as I can right now. And I literally did. I sold them in June. I said, dude, I have a feeling. I said, because I was looking at it in June, and I was like, there's like 7-8 boxes on eBay, right? And then
I mean, dude, the deal you worked with Collector's Cash, like, that was massive.
I mean, it's crazy because I have to give Beamer a shout out, but the thing is, like, I could tell he didn't want to sell it because I was buying it all. And but now I've made a profit on everything I bought, and it's insane because I knew XY, like with all the XY I already had, I just wanted more and more XY. Because one, I love XY era. The full arts are beautiful. The megas are awesome. And then the news came out that the megas were coming back. And I was like, dude, this is going to be insane. I don't even think we saw the tip of the iceberg yet until the megas come out.
Don't you think it's weird that the Team Rocket like style cards and the Team Rocket sets aren't pumping at all?
That is weird a little bit.
I mean, right?
I thought like Team Rocket, the first Team Rocket set, first edition Team Rocket, I thought that was going to boom. Team Rocket Returns is always going to boom. But I really thought Team Rocket was going to go up like $6,000, $8,000 because of this. But it really hasn't done what I thought. It's like the megas are what's selling.
And no one cares about any Team Rocket like Giovanni or Team Rocket cards, dark cards. Like no one cares.
I think they're cool. I like them. I've had
so, a lot of them. I mean, the mega, the whole XY mega play, that was crazy. Like that did exactly what we thought it was going to do.
Yep.
Team Rocket play, not really there.
I mean, give it time. I mean, all this stuff is awesome. It's all cool.
Just need more money. Like I said in my video today, it's like, I wish I would have bought more. Like no matter how much I buy, no matter how big I grow my positions, every single set I end up saying, I wish I would have bought more. Dude,
I mean, Ancient Origins, I can have 100 boxes and I'd still want more, It's
weird, dude. Pokemon's this weird hobby where it's like, I hate saying things like this because it sounds too good to be true, but it's just like, you never lose.
I know, but think
all this is how much time you want to hold. Like if you point to certain times, like, oh, in that 6 month or that year period, that 2 year period, you lost. It's like, dude, show me a 5-year period in Modern where you've lost.
Well, it goes back to buy what you love, right? Like for me, that was one of the first conversations you and I ever had was XY. Like I always loved XY. So even if like I suffered with XY, why it didn't grow,
dude,
it's stagnant. Yeah.
I used to have live streams where I would get just trolled by my chat the entire time for liking XY. This was like beginning or middle of Sword and Shield era. Dude, I got roasted for telling people that XY was a sleeper. Roasted.
And the thing is, like, no matter what, even though it was a sleeper, I suffered with XY when no one wanted it. And I loved it because Ancient Origins, like, is another set that I fell in love with when I got back into the hobby. So it's like, at the end of the day, buy what you love because if you suffer with it, at least you have it and you love it, right? And that's what I did with XY era. And that's what I did with Cosmic. And I made a video. If you look at my my Instagram, when Cosmic was like $350, I was like, this is $350. This is the best set. Buy it. Buy it. Look where it is now. Like, just buy what you love. And if you like a set in Pokemon, most likely it's going to do well. And with that whole XY era, just got lucky. Like, I knew the potential was there. The pops were all low. The pops are super low on a lot of these cards.
We just got lucky, guys, once again. You get lucky a lot in this hobby if you know what you're doing. It's weird.
Yeah. It's just like buy it, sit on it, sit on it, and forget it. That's it.
I'm with you, man.
It's that simple.
Well, the Pokemon Plumber, dude, thank you for gracing us with your presence here on this video.
Yeah.
This impromptu live in the middle of the day on a Friday.
Yeah, found out 10 minutes and then I'm on this. Yeah, this is cool.
No, we're gonna have Nick back on with Graded Never Faded in the future. We're gonna pressure him into it because we're gonna hear about the whole vending side of this hobby too.
Yeah, you guys have to hear what he says. This guy, he's a numbers guy. He's genius. He's the most humble person you'll ever meet. I had him in my wedding. He was one of my groomsmen, and I met him through this hobby. One of the best people you can meet in the hobby. He's selfless. He's awesome. So, and
They both are. Him and his wife are great.
Oh yeah, she's fantastic. But oh yeah, we were all at the dinner. I was tired. That drive was long. But yeah, when you have him on, that would be. I'm gonna text him after this. I'll see what I can do. I know, buddy.
Yeah, we'll work on him.
Done.
All right, guys, you heard it here first. Blow all your money on searching Sparks and
collect what you love. Buy what you love.
All right, guys, we're out.
All right, peace.